Now, mind you, I want to talk about this game Expedition 33 because I have two perspectives on this situation. Now, everybody's saying that the game was successful, and it was, but let's take in consideration, right, that the game was available on Xbox, which more likely played it through Game Pass, as well as PC and PlayStation 5, and the game only sold 1 million. You know what I mean? You have to ask yourself, and let's not forget that the game was priced at $50. Bro, I know PlayStation 1 games that sold over a million back at a time where people really didn't know much about video gaming. So, like I said, let's take in consideration that if the game was not multi-platform, the game would have potentially failed, especially considering if the budget was over, let's say, AAA, like a $200 to $300 million game, the game would have failed. And this is a fundamental problem that I have within our gaming community because these companies are advocating for higher priced games, which only means that the only ones that are going to do well is the Pokemon, the Call of Duties and the Zeldas. Yeah, people are more likely going to spend money, or should I say top dollar, on the games that they're comfortable in buying. But when it comes to games like Expedition, if these games ain't priced reasonably, or if the budget's not low enough so where they can compensate and make money from, well, guess what? The game is going to fail. Which is what I find a fundamental problem within our gaming community. So these companies may think that it's acceptable to put 70, 80, or even $100 for these games, but the only games that's going to work for is games like Grand Theft Auto. Y'all know this. NBA 2K, Madden, college football, they'll gladly spend $100 on those games. But a game like Expedition had to sell it for $50, which is quite pro-consumer, on top of the fact that it was multi-plat. Think about what I'm saying. You have about 90 million PS5s, 30, 40 million Xbox Series X owners, and whatever how many PC owners, and only 1 million people bought the game? And everybody's saying it's a success, Square don't know what they're doing. Okay, listen, Final Fantasy still sold better than it on one platform than this game did on 3 other platforms. Let's take that into consideration. And everybody's talking about, revitalized turn-based, Square, they don't know it. Really? Have you guys ever heard of Dragon Quest? Have you guys ever heard of all the other games? What about Metaphor, Fantasio? Y'all ain't even talking about that game no more. We're going to sit there and act like those games didn't exist and help fundamentally put turn-based RPGs back on the map. Now, mind you, this is not a video hating on Alex. He's bringing up the tweets because I don't have the time to go to Twitter. This is how I get my Twitter from you guys. But all I'm saying is that this is an issue with gaming. If you guys really think 1 million sales out of a game like Expedition, which is priced at $50 on multiple platforms, then this also shows you that the multi-platform strategy is the only strategy that will work when it comes to games like this. But let's get to this video, shall we?
Exactly why I wanted to bring up this tweet specifically. You see, Cassie points out a lot of the actual false arguments being made around PC gamers, how we don't buy games, or how Game Pass cannibalizes.
That's funny that this has to be coming from ponies because Xbox gamers, they don't even bring up these points. So it has to be coming from either PlayStation dudes or Nintendo guys. Now, if they say that, right, well, Xbox is out of the question. Aren't you guys supposed to buy the games, right? We have Game Pass Ultimate. Ain't these the same dudes that said we buy games, but yet Helldivers 2 and Black Myth Wukong all did better on PC? How can they even go as far to say that, PC and Xbox gamers don't buy games when they don't even buy their own titles? Do you get what I'm saying? The PlayStation fanboys are the biggest hypocrites in this community.
Sales when we're looking directly at Expedition 33, and PC gamers have the direct option to choose where to play this game specifically, whether they want to use PC Game Pass because it is listed there, or if they want to buy the game on Steam. And the real differentiator isn't about whether or not Game Pass exists. The differentiator is whether or not your game is in fact good.
Now, that's true. That's true too. But also too, I want to touch up on the fact that they're talking about it cannibalizing sales. This is like an argument that I'm hearing. I don't think that was the case because let's not forget, you still got 90 million PS5s out there, and with how the game was priced at $50, y'all still didn't buy it. Do you get what I'm saying? At the end of the day, people are gonna pick up and buy the games that they want. It doesn't matter what these fanboys think. See, this is the problem. And the game did do well because considering the game's budget. But if it was a AAA game, more than likely it would have failed. And this is a huge issue that I've been having with video gaming for quite some time.
Fucking heads art. Most sales came from PlayStation and PC. Game Pass
Absurdly cannibal.
How does it cannibalize sales? Don't you guys got the most hardware? See, this is what I don't understand, people. You guys see Xvolt Gaming doing it again, man. This is why I gotta go to these channels to find out as to what's really going on Twitter, man. Like, somebody weren't lying when they told me there's an endless amount of content. If you just had a Twitter account and just looked at the tweets and posts that people are making, that is absolutely absurd, Xvolt Gaming. What are you talking about? I thought Xbox gamers don't. How would it cannibalize sales? That doesn't mean that you couldn't have compensated, made up for that, right? Mr. 90 million PS5s. If anything, this game sold 1 million, practically close to what Astrobot did, which was 1.5 million. Now, who are you going to blame for that? So explain to me, Xvolt Gaming, why nobody played Concord, right? More than likely, nobody's going to play Marathon, right? Explain to me. And Astrobot was at 1.5. Explain to me, because those let's not forget, those games, especially Astrobot, is only locked to the one platform. You just proved that exclusivity doesn't matter. All this game did was expose a lot of false narratives that I've been seeing in this community for quite some time. And this is why I'm bringing it up to people's attention, because now they're saying cannibalize sales. Did Xbox cannibalize the sales of Astrobot? You only had one option but to buy that game, and you people chose not to. Are you going to blame Xbox for that too? Like, this is what I'm saying, man. And let's be honest, Expedition is only successful because it was multi-platform, which also goes against your own argument, Xvolt, of why people pick up a PS5 over the Xbox or over any other platform. Clearly, games can only succeed within this multi-platform strategy, and you ponies know this. Stop the cap, bro. I'm telling you, man, gaming is going multi-platform. Now, if you're like Nintendo and you can afford to make enough money, especially with the budget of games that they have within their diehard audience, then you should be okay. But in regards to Xbox and Sony, these are the things that they have to do, especially with the high budgets of these games. Not this game, for example, but others. This is what they're going to have to do. If you guys can't see this, then I don't know what to tell you no more. You see what I'm talking about? It's people like this, man, bro. Dude talking about he smelled like onions, man. It's people like him. You see this? You see all these games that he didn't have to buy? It's people like this man right here that's cannibalizing the sales of Xbox. Now, mind you, I did try a little bit of Expedition. I didn't unlock an achievement. Wasn't really a huge fan of it. In my personal opinion, I think the game is slightly overrated. I think it's a good game. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's something I'm willing enough to play, though. Unfortunately, it's nothing too crazy, but I think it's a solid game. Like, if you're looking for another turn-based RPG that you could play, I think you'll more likely have fun with it. But I think the issue with gaming, guys, is the fact that when I was in this hobby, now I'm gonna break this upon myself. Gaming was unique. You know what I mean? Every time we played a game, it felt different. You know, I seen the evolution of gaming. That's what kind of kept me around. But as time goes on, you start realizing that everything has been identically the same. Nothing has really changed. A lot of the ideas, it's like everything is just being consistently reused over and over and over again. And you can start seeing it through the game design, man. I'm just not a huge fan of it. That's why I go back to a time where gaming was more imaginative. Gaming was, more unique. They were willing to take chances. They were willing to gamble a little bit. To see if anybody would go out there and buy these games, which in a lot of cases didn't work because people didn't have the money to afford everything. So like I said, I mean, look at it. I mean, you guys say that modern gaming is so good, and look at his list right here. We got Expedition 33. Well, that's a new game. Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, old game. Elder Scrolls Oblivion, old game. Avowed plays very similar to any other Elder Scrolls game before it. Oddworld, Stranger's Wrath, HD is an old game. And GoldenEye. You don't believe me? Look at this. What are you guys doing? You guys bought a PS5 and Xbox Series X to play the same games that people have been playing for over 20 years, bro. And you guys want to sit there and say gaming is peak and all. Listen, y'all thought I was an Xbox fanboy, bro. I'm a retro gamer. I really don't understand why you guys even label me that. I mean, I might prefer a little bit of the Xbox games, but even then, I'm still very disappointed with Microsoft. I'm still very disappointed. Y'all like, what? What you mean, though? I thought you said Microsoft is doing better than PlayStation. That I can guarantee you. But, like, what I'm saying is that if you really look at the vast majority of your games, they're old. They're old games. These are the games that y'all want to play, bro. We all know it because I want to play them too, and that's it. I have more fun playing on a PS2 than coming online playing on any of these devices, bro. Like, just ask yourself, bro. These systems are trash. I don't care how much they sold. You guys are still believing in the whole nostalgic trip of how Xbox and PlayStation or even Nintendo used to be, and it's just not there anymore, man. And as you get older, you start realizing and you become hip to the thing. You're like, it's whatever. Back in the days, man, when I see Metroid Prime on the GameCube, my mind was blown. Now when I see Metroid Prime 4, it has better resolutions and frame rates, but the game doesn't wow me no more. Does that make sense? What happened to the days when gaming used to wow you? And the only time you can get that wow factor is when you play an old game like Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, for an example. But that's not going to help anybody that's been playing the game since 2008, which I still think is a better version than Black. Like, I mean, come on, man. This is why gaming to me is just boring. It's just trash. I personally really don't even care about it anymore. There's a few indie games that you can still play, but a lot of it's just revisiting and replaying the same old things. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, man. I wanted to touch up on a lot of things. Thanks, Alex and Fratanga, for having some tweets, because I ain't going on Twitter to figure out who's tweeting what, But like I said, man, Expedition 33 did not cannibalize sales, because how can Xbox cannibalize sales when you can buy the game on PlayStation? That doesn't make sense. If PS5 owners buy games like they claim, then Xbox cannibalizing sales wouldn't impact that, would it? Neither would it do on PC. And it actually sold surprisingly decent on PC, which is crazy, right? So, like I said, you ponies, man. And even then, the game didn't sell that well. 1 million. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was 30 developers that worked on a game. They're probably happy about it. They probably didn't even see the game having that much success. They probably thought it was going to sell 33 copies. Expedition sell 33 copies. But I think what helped it was the price tag. I think companies need to go drop it to $50 because y'all chasing this $70, $80 hype train. Now, for some games that might work, because Nintendo pulled it with Mario Kart World, because they use the name, they use the status, they use the fact that people love that game. But I think if companies come out with $50 games, it's nostalgic. People will gravitate towards it. They'll pick it up, and they'll be more willing to try it. I think the days of $70 games got to come to an end. I think it has to come to an end. And on top of that, Elder Scrolls Oblivion, even though it's a remaster, was priced at $50. I think the $50 margin needs to stay. I'm sorry. People are like, what you mean? I think $50. I think gaming would be more successful at $50 because trying to chase that additional $10 to $20 is only making these companies go bankrupt. I'm sorry, bro. If Marathon's going to charge anything, it needs to be $20. Or something. It should be free to play, but we'll just say 20. People will try it. You get what I'm saying? People will try it. But when you have a high price tag to a game and people's like, well, I could go play this and it's far better, then nobody's going to try it. I really think that this is the fundamental problem with gaming, is the prices of these titles. I don't care if it's AAA. I don't care if it's AA. $50 should be the highest we pay for games. That's just my personal opinion, because when you take in consideration that nobody's buying these games for $70, what do? Oh, I'll just wait for the price drop. Well, then you know what? You might as well just price drop the game now, so you don't have to deal with the used market of having a physical copy, and make your $50 now. Just give the consumers what we want. I think what was end up happening is that these companies were trying so hard to digitally rip us off that they forgot, like, hold on, we're making less money selling the game at a higher price than if we just sold it for $50. You trying to chase that $20 expecting that the consumer that normally would buy your game it's not helping you in any way. You know what I'm saying? What do y'all think about that? Hopefully you guys can chime in the comment section if you think games should go back to $50, because I think it's a nostalgic price. I think it's something that people be willing to try, but chasing this additional $20 is only working for games like for example, Legend of Zelda, Pokemon, games like that. You get what I'm saying? It's not working for games like, I don't know how much South of Midnight was, but I'm just saying, like a South of Midnight. It wouldn't work. I don't even think an Elder Scrolls, I think people would have bought it for $70, but that's the game has that staying power. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think Marathon should be priced at $20. Only a few games should be priced at $60, $70, and that's if the company think they can make that money. Call of Duty, of course, because they know they're going to make it even if it's priced at $100. People be spending upwards to $100 on just the game alone. So, of course, But like I said, in regards to other games, in regards to other titles trying to make a big name within the gaming landscape, it's probably best if you price it at $50. But hopefully, guys enjoyed this video. And like I said, take care and peace out.